Commuters often grow accustomed to the familiar faces sharing their daily journey. However, in this case, a unique traveler with 4 legs, a fluffy tail, and an orange coat caught their attention. When the story behind this cat's daily solo bus rides came to light, it touched the hearts of many due to both its intelligence and a poignant reason. Dodger's adventure on public transportation began when his owner, Mrs. Jeans, unintentionally left the door ajar while cleaning the front porch. Dodger, the orange cat who had never shown any inclination to wander, seized the opportunity and darted outside. Mrs. Jeans, filled with panic, raced to retrieve him before he could come to harm. Yet, as anyone who has owned a determined cat knows, catching one is a near impossible feat. Mrs. Jeans soon realized that Dodger was too quick for her. She spent the day at home, anxiously worrying about her feline companion. Though Dodger had never been a full outdoor cat, she had occasionally allowed him to explore his surroundings. The Jeans family had experience with cats and understood the importance of mental stimulation and enrichment for their pets. When Mrs. Jeans recounted the day's events to her husband, he too was stunned by Dodger's sudden escape. They reached out to their neighbors, hoping someone had seen Dodger, but their efforts yielded no results. It seemed as though Dodger had vanished into thin air, causing distress for the family. As the day wore on, the Jeans family anxiously awaited news about Dodger. Suddenly, they heard scratching at their door, followed by the unmistakable mewing of their beloved cat. Mrs. Jeans hurried to the door and, to her delight, found Dodger sitting on the porch, albeit with a disgruntled expression. It was pouring rain and Dodger, known for disliking getting wet, had returned home. Overjoyed, Mrs. Jeans embraced her feline friend. While they hadn't received an explanation from Dodger, they were relieved to have him back. The next day, the family closely monitored Dodger to prevent another escape. However, Dodger managed to slip away once more, leaving everyone shocked. The question remained, where was Dodger going, and how was he navigating the city? The answers would soon come to light. Amy Medina and her younger brother were among the first to discover Dodger's secret. They took the bus from Bridport, Dorset to Charmouth daily for school. When they noticed Dodger, an orange tabby, on their bus, they were immediately charmed by him. Each time the bus stopped to allow passengers on at Bridgeport, Dodger quietly boarded the bus and took a seat among the humans. Amy formed a close bond with the 10-year-old cat, realizing over time that he was a regular bus rider, much like her and her brother. Gradually, other passengers grew accustomed to Dodger's presence and befriended him, offering treats, pets, and even capturing the driver's heart, despite his lack of a ticket. The driver and passengers would sometimes bring cat food to feed him and shower him with affection. Unaware of Dodger's adventures, the Jeans family decided to let him enjoy his newfound lifestyle, knowing it brought him joy. One day, Emily, the Jeans' daughter, received a call from a childhood friend. She reported spotting a cat resembling Dodger in her neighborhood, and the cat had approached her, rubbing against her legs. The surprising part was that this occurred nearly 10 miles away from their home, at Charmouth, the last stop of the bus. Dodger's daily bus rides to a specific destination remained a mystery, and the Jeans family was unaware of his newfound passion for public transport. They decided to equip Dodger with an AirTag, hoping to uncover his secret. The following day, Dodger, as was his routine, stretched after breakfast and strolled out of the house. This time, the family didn't attempt to prevent his departure. About half an hour later, Mrs. Jeans and her daughter got into their car and began following Dodger's AirTag to discover his destination and activities. They were astonished by how quickly Dodger seemed to move. He covered a considerable distance in a short time, which seemed impossible for a cat. The AirTag led them to a bus stop several miles away from their home, and as their car slowed down, they were astounded to find Dodger sitting by the road. When the bus arrived, Dodger casually boarded, behaving like any human passenger. Mrs. Jeans and her daughter were too shocked to react. It became apparent that Dodger not only timed bus arrivals, but also knew precisely where the bus would stop. They had discovered how he moved so swiftly. He was traveling by bus. However, the reason behind Dodger's daily bus rides remained a mystery. The mother-daughter duo decided to follow the bus to uncover his destination. Dodger disembarked at Charmouth, and as he strolled towards a familiar street, Mrs. Jeans and her daughter were moved by the heartbreaking truth behind his bus hopping habit. Dodger continued his purposeful trot until he reached their old family home, a place they had lived for nearly 8 years before relocating to Bridgeport. Mother and daughter realized that Dodger had been returning to their former residence all along, likely because he missed it deeply. This house held many memories for him, as it was where he had spent most of his life, along with his brother Lux, who had passed away at a young age. The discovery was incredible. Dodger had managed to navigate back to his old home using buses. The revelation didn't end there, as Mrs. Jeans and her daughter watched Dodger playing with a few of his old cat friends on the porch. The sight brought tears to Mrs. Jean's eyes, as it was the happiest they had seen their beloved feline since the move. When evening arrived, Dodger stretched again and walked back to the bus stop, hitching a ride to Bridgeport. He continued taking the bus for 5 more years, becoming a local celebrity in the area. Amy Medina, who had looked after him, eventually went to college, and her younger brother took over as Dodger's travel companion. This extraordinary tale reminds us that sometimes our pets can surprise us in the most unexpected ways.